welcome back to the vlog. Today is going to be another study vlog. I have a lot of studying to do, a lot of homework to get through, and I have some things to do for the minimal just stuff, so content planning and just organizing and things like that. But to start off, I'm going to start with homework because that to me is the more important thing right now, just because I am trying to get to the next lecture. But I never like to move on to the next lecture until I'm done with the previous lecture's homework, and I make sure that I have a good grasp and understanding of what was even taught. So I do have two disclaimers. I always have a disclaimer. One, sorry about the dishwasher. It's running. We have to wash our dishes. And two, I am struggling today with not being out of breath. I've noticed that this happens like after I eat sometimes, and specifically in the morning, which is weird because it doesn't really tend to happen like after lunch or dinner. But after breakfast, I don't know what it is about the morning. After I eat, the further I get along in this pregnancy, I start to my heart starts to race almost. It's like a weird feeling, and I get really out of breath. And so, I don't know. I know typically it's normal to get out of breath during these stages. I'll be 7 months I'll be 7 months this Wednesday, I believe. Something like that. It's been so hard to keep up with this pregnancy. I'm not going to lie. Just everything is so different. I think it's because I'm older and I already have had kids before. So I feel like with each pregnancy, you kind of things just are different every single time, at least in my experience. And yeah, anyway. So those are my disclaimers. Now that we got that out the way, I have my bullet journal here. I have been using this to plan my weeks and days, basically. My months too, I'll have a spread to write down any appointments and things that I know are coming up in the month, any doctor appointments, holidays, birthdays, whatever is going on. I have that spread. I have a page where I write out my goals for the month. And then I go into kind of my week to week spread is basically take the right side of the page, brain dump everything that you would like to get done in that week. And then each day you can look at this list and pick out from that list, okay, I think this will work best on Monday. I think this will work best on Tuesday. And I've kind of just been plugging in those brain dump tasks into each day that it feels right to plug them in on. So for today, a big thing is for me to finish the homework that I need to finish for the lecture that I was on so that I can move on to the next one and plan my next YouTube video, because it probably will be another sit down video. I'm not really sure, but yeah, those are the two top things that I do need to do today. And I've been using the same planning system, and the planning system overall has been working really well for me. I love the mixture of Notion, Google, and paper planning that I have going on, but I have been craving a traditional physical journal or a planner here lately, because I kind of just want something that's ready to go, that I can just hop into and write things down, be ready to go, and not have to worry about making a spread for it or anything like that. So I did order a planner, and I'm super excited about getting it because I already just received some of their notebooks just a couple days ago, which I'm going to show you in a second. This is not sponsored by them. I do want to put that out there up front, but I truly, truly, truly love these notebooks. Now, I have said it before, but if this is your first video watching of mine, first of all, hi, I'm Jess. I make content about tech, coding, my life in the tech industry, and my overall life in vlog form. And so if that's something you like, consider subscribing, sticking around. We have a great community here. But anyway, I love stationery. That's another thing about me. If you haven't been here, I love stationery. I used to have a blog about stationery where I would write about different notebooks, pens, pencils, paper, that kind of thing. I went to a national stationery show and covered it back in, I don't remember what year that was. I think it was 2018 maybe, but it was in New York. It was so fun. Me and my husband went, and we just basically vlogged the experience and did interviews for different really top brand planner companies and stationery companies, and it was just super, super amazing. I would love to do that again one day, but time. So anyway, the notebooks I will show you in just a second, because I have a way that I'm going to use them that I would like to share with you guys. But anyway, I ordered because I wanted to wait to see how the quality of the actual notebooks were before I ordered their planner. And I'm completely sold. I am convinced that right now at this point in my life, until I find something else, these are my new favorite notebooks. They're kind of pricey, but for me, the quality what you get is just worth the price, in my opinion. So once I get that planner, I will show you guys. I do have some content coming up that I want to like go into a deep dive of how I use my journals, how I use my planner, how I really tie everything in together, because I feel like I've kind of given you guys an overall view of like those type of things on some of my other videos, but I have never really gone in depth of like how I just keep my mind clear and do different things. And honestly, I think that one of those videos is going to be super long, so I'll probably like put that on my Patreon, which I keep talking about. I know I haven't put it out yet, but I am still trying to just make sure that the tiers make sense before I launch the Patreon. But I really, if not by the end of this year, going into the first of next year, I truly want to be able to start my Patreon. Getting out of breath again, hold on. Okay, so that's the rundown of the day. Planning, studying, and getting my brain clear, really. And I think that's it. So let's go ahead and go over to my desk so I can start my study session. So I'm at my desk and I'm gonna show you guys these beautiful notebooks. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry if this doesn't excite you, but how freaking gorgeous is this notebook? And then here is my other one, and I actually just got an email saying that my third one is here, because yes, I did order 3, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I have decided to stray away from taking notes on my iPad for now. There have been too many things that have just been so irritating and non-productive when it comes to my personal experience taking notes on my iPad. First of all, I have noticed that I tend to spend way too much time thinking about what colors I want to use, because obviously there's an infinite amount of colors when it comes to taking your notes digitally. With the colors that are built into the software that you're using, I was using GoodNotes. So that's problem number 1. I get very distracted and I waste a lot of precious productivity time and focus time by just thinking about things that don't even matter. Like, what color should my header be? What color should the text be? What color should this be? What font size? What font style should I use? Just too much. It's too much. The other thing that I noticed is that because I have horrible handwriting, it's even more horrible on the iPad. So I don't typically like to just write with my straight natural handwriting on the iPad. And then I did go about actually making my own custom handwriting font, like with my actual handwriting, and then importing it into GoodNotes so that I could use that. It's like text or write to text, scribble to text. I don't know, where you can like write and it converts your handwriting to whatever font you choose. I wanted it to still look like my handwriting, like something I actually wrote. So I converted my own handwriting and imported it into GoodNotes, if that makes sense. And I still don't like it, because the problem with that is that I'm a fast writer, especially when I'm taking notes during like a lecture. I don't want to have to keep pausing and playing, because let's be real, if you were in a lecture in an actual classroom, you can't pause and play the teacher. So you need to be able to just get the information down. And because I write fast and I write kind of sloppy, the converter, for the most part, would get the words that I was trying to write correct. But more times than I would like it to, it would get them incorrect. It was trying to auto-correct. And so even going back, because I started to transfer the digital notes from my iPad into this notebook already, I have to guess what it's supposed to say. For the most part, I can kind of, gauge what it's supposed to say, but there are a lot of incorrect words within the sentences of my notes because it was auto-correcting so much. So that is a second major thing that is just super annoying. The biggest thing is that I wasn't going back as much as I should to look at the notes. When I have notebooks like this, like hands down, I just want to get my hand on the notebook. So I'm more prone to look through this notebook than I am looking through those notes in my iPad. I know this about myself. Everybody's not the same, but that's one other reason why digital planning typically hasn't worked for me in the past, because I'm more prone to look at something physical, like a bullet journal or a physical planner, than I am to search and go into my notes on the digital, apps, or even write in the planner and go back and check what I need to do. I like to feel the pen and paper on, the pen on the paper, and I've missed that. And I just feel like I'm way more productive when I just use a notebook, and it is what it is. Now, this is an A5 size notebook. This is not supposed to be a notebook review. I'm not trying to make it a notebook review. This is just, I'm only sharing this because this is how I'm taking my notes and I'm studying today, so it makes sense. But this is an A5 size, so I thought this was honestly gonna be way too small, but I have been really enjoying having this size compared to like a regular letter size, like 8.5 by 11 size notebook, just because of how portable it is. And also I have about almost 40 pages worth of notes between class, like for all the classes that I've taken so far for 100 devs, in my digital notes. And on the paper size that I was using on there was a regular 8.5 by 11 size. I wasn't using the A5 size digital piece of paper. So I thought, oh, for how many pages I have on there, I'm gonna have at least double that using smaller size paper. But oddly, I've been able to get more notes on the smaller paper on one page than I had on the bigger pages on my iPad, if that makes sense. So I'm actually using less space with this, and I don't know if it's because I'm able to write smaller and write more natural, so I'm taking up less space. I don't know what it is, but I've been counting and keeping track because I'm like, I don't want to have to split 100 devs. If I can help it, I can get all of the lectures and notes into this one notebook, and this will be my one go-to 100% free full stack bootcamp 100 devs notebook, and I don't have to look in all these other places for notes, so everything will go in here. Anyway, that's my goal, is to fit everything in here. I think there's 192 pages, and I do use dot grid on all of my notebooks, planners. I use dot grid. I do not like writing on line paper. Ever since I had started bullet journaling and using dot grid, I just don't like line paper. I don't know what it is. I had a couple people actually tell me that they were the same way, because I've said this before in other videos. I just don't like it, and I will use it if I have to, but I prefer not to. Grid paper, kind of the same way. I don't really like those boxes and stuff. I haven't really given it a true try though, so I'm not gonna say I'll never use it, but I know for a fact dot grid, oh, love it so much, my favorite. I don't know if you heard that, but this is so structured, well quality, just well made. It's vegan leather, but that magnetic clasp is also just another additive of why I like these, because I can just kind of keep everything secure. If I want to add like sticky notes or anything, I don't have to worry about the notebook opening or anything falling out. It has this on there. It's by the brand Burga, B-U-R-G-A. I will try to put something on screen here maybe. If not, it'll be linked below. Again, this is not sponsored. I'm just really, really, really impressed and in love with these notebooks. So again, I plan on going into a really in-depth version of exactly how I take notes, exactly how I'm using these journals, exactly like all the rundown and details of everything. But I think that would be more appropriate maybe for a Patreon post, just because I feel like that video will be extremely long, because I have a lot to say about what I plan to do with these. But for an overall idea for here, for the sake of this video, this is my new way. I'm going back to paper and pen for note taking for now, for the foreseeable future. These notebooks are so quality. And then for this one, I actually got this one to be my bullet journal. I wanted it to be a planner, basically my bullet journal. But like I said, I'm having thoughts of going to a traditional planner just because of the way my life is running right now, and I just need to get to work. I don't want to have to do spreads or anything like that. Even though it's very therapeutic for me, I just need to be able to get in, write what I need to write, and go. Especially because when my son comes, like, I'm gonna have even more appointments to go to, because you know, when you have a newborn, they're pretty much going to the doctor all the time at the beginning. It's like very frequent. So at least once a month, and then it starts to taper off throughout the year. But I'll have more things to do and more things to track. So those are the two notebooks. This is in the print Siren, and this one, I cannot remember the print, but I'll try to link the exact ones down below. I know they were selling out of some of the styles pretty quickly, so hopefully these are still in stock if you like these particular styles. And then before the end of this video, I will definitely show you my third one, because like I said, this is my note-taking one. This is going to be, since I'm not going to use it as a bullet journal right now, I plan on just letting this be my content journal. So I have a lot of times where I have video ideas, or I just want to brain dump like what I see the future of this channel looking like, ideas for just anything the minimal Jess. I kind of just want to have it dedicated in here, because right now I have all of these thoughts and ideas and plans scattered and all types of notes in my phone and random pieces of paper. I want like a dedicated, I think I'm going to use this as like a dedicated, the Minimal Jest journal to brain dump, to pep talk myself when I'm feeling imposter syndrome, even on this channel. When I have new thoughts of how to structure or like the type of videos that I want to post, just anything that I need to brain dump. I think this will be like also low-key like a personal journal too. It'll kind of be like a brain dumping journal, basically, is what it will be. So yeah, that's how I plan on using that one. And then, like I said, I have a third one that just got delivered. So I think before I start studying, I'm actually going to go get that now so I can show you guys that one, get that out the way, then I'll study. So let's go do that now. Again, I did just get a planner from them too, so I'll have that soon, but this is how it comes in this beautiful package. And then I feel like these would be really good for gift giving, like if you have somebody that loves stationery. Oh, and beautiful. Okay, so here is, it's like off the theme of like the pinks and oranges, but these are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous notebooks. So this one is going to be used as my code journal. If you don't have a code journal, I really highly suggest getting one. I just feel like you should have a place where you can brain dump, journal through any imposter syndrome that you are going through, any project ideas that you have, any progress that you made on your code journey, as far as like cool projects that you built, anything that you're struggling with, any and everything that is to do with your code journal or your coding journey and learning how to program. Or I've even heard established programmers keep a journal of some sort. I really highly recommend trying it out. I was using, or I still use, my 100 days of code journal, but this is more like a day-to-day planner for me. Like I'll write out like my to-do list in here of actual tasks and homework that I need to do, and just tracking things like that. I don't really use it for like journaling or anything. So that's good for planning. I just noticed my mic wasn't on, so hopefully you guys heard me okay with everything I just said. But anyway, that is good for planning my daily tasks, like the actual tasks. But I definitely wanted a space where I can like write down exactly how I'm feeling. Like I said, journal through any imposter syndrome that I might be feeling. And then when I go to meetups, like once I start going to meetups again or different conferences and stuff, I just wanted like a cute notebook to take with me, because you never know what you might need to write down. If there's like some type of event or, you know, a speaker and you want to take notes, this will be where I do it. I am more of a neutral type girl. I wear a lot of neutrals, but when it comes to my accessories and desk items and things like that, I love to pull in my favorite colors, which one of my favorite colors is pink. So this is where I get to have more fun and just really enjoy color a little bit more. But yeah, like I said, I plan on going more in depth about how I'm using all of those journals really soon, because I really actually just love talking about stuff like this. So anyway, that is enough talking. I need to get to work. It is 10:50 and I haven't cracked open any type of studies. So I'm going to do some reading and take some notes in my new beautiful notebook, and I will check back in with you guys after I do my little study session. I just got done studying and reading through what I needed to read through. I also went ahead and transferred over all my notes into my new beautiful notebook that I had in my iPad. And like I said, surprisingly, as many pages as it took for me to write the notes that I needed to write in my iPad, it didn't take that many in my notebooks. So now I do need to get into planning my next YouTube video. That's something that I really want to get knocked out before I get the kids in an hour and a half. And according to my little bullet journal and my plans for the day, besides filming this vlog, studying, and doing the next video edit, everything else can be done when they're here or when they go to sleep. So I'm knocking out all the major things that I would like to do before they're here, and it's just like super chaotic and loud in the house. So I'm really happy about that. Also, somehow our washer went out. It's been so annoying because the laundry is just piling up, and I already don't have a lot of stuff that fits me good right now because I refuse to buy a whole wardrobe of clothes that I'm not going to wear after the pregnancy. So I got a few maternity leggings. I already had a few sweatshirts that were I like to wear my sweatshirts a little oversized anyway. So I've actually just been wearing a few of those and just filling them out. But for the most part, this winter, I'm telling y'all are going to see me in the same little outfits, and I don't even feel bad about it. Before I get into planning, I also wanted to briefly just vent a little bit about how I'm feeling these days. I feel like I'm slowing down, and I know I keep saying this, and I don't want to sound like I'm complaining because I'm very much so enjoying this pregnancy. This pregnancy has been very healthy, very easygoing. There have been a couple of things here and there where I get like a little bit more pains every once in a while than I normally do that I did with, my other pregnancies. But for the most part, it's nothing to complain about. However, like I said, I will say that I noticed a huge difference in carrying in my 30s than when I was in my 20s. Now, I definitely am not an active person. I'm not somebody who works out and things like that. So I know that that's probably contributing to things as well. But I don't know, I'm so tired. Like, my first trimester was I will say, when it comes to like morning sickness and things like that, I definitely had a tough time this pregnancy. My first two pregnancies were not like that. But this pregnancy kicked my butt first trimester. Second trimester, smooth sailing. I got my energy back, having fun, cool, we're good, no morning sickness at all. Now I'm in, I think, technically the first week of my third trimester, and I'm starting to feel a little nauseous after I eat. I told you guys earlier today that I've been having these moments, like after I eat breakfast, I will start to have kind of like a racy heart and feel just out of breath a lot, which the shortness of breath is definitely like something really normal in this stage of my pregnancy. It's something common. It was like I was looking for my phone, but I have a pregnancy app that I use to track my weeks and everything. And it gives you updates every week of like what you might experience with your body and like the progress that the baby should be making at the different stages throughout the pregnancy. I used it all 3 pregnancies. I love that app. But it did say like going into this part in this phase, I will experience more shortness of breath because the baby, I could be explaining this wrong, but the baby is growing into the lung area. The baby's getting bigger. I mean, I'm only so big. So yeah, I am slowing down. I feel like I'm getting a lot more tired. Like right now, I'm struggling. I am struggling, and I'm trying to hold it together so I can finish this vlog and get through everything that I'm going through. But I am starting to have this thing where I'm like low-key beating myself up a little bit because I'm like, girl, you got to keep going as hard as you can until you have this baby. Keep going with your content, with your work, with your studies, with anything that you have going on, and be a mom, and be a wife, and be a daughter, and be a friend, whatever it is that I have going on. But I'm tired, and it's hard because I have these goals, and I have realized about myself that I'm not necessarily, I don't know if I'm a perfectionist. I might be, to be honest, low-key, but I have these things about myself where if I don't get things done in a time frame that I want to get them done, I am very hard on myself about it. And I don't always take into consideration that a lot of those time frames or the outside restrictions of things, i.e. me being pregnant, are going to affect the way that I'm able to get things done. And I also don't give myself enough credit for the things that I have done. Like, I have been trying to post more consistently on this channel. I have been trying to be more active in my studies, especially since I feel like I wasted so much time during the first trimester, because I don't know why I said it like that, during the first trimester, because I was so sick and I tried, it's like I'm playing catch up. And I really wanted to be through this boot camp before the baby came. I don't know why I gave myself that little time frame, but when I tell you, I don't think that's going to happen. Because also, I'm also, like I said, I'm on the journey this time to learn the things that I learned before, but learn them the right way and really, really, really get a deep understanding of things. And that cannot be rushed, in my opinion, at least not for me. And so I need to take a step back and just give myself grace and be like, hey, you are going to learn this stuff. This stuff is not going anywhere. But I'm in my head about, like, I want to be done with this before the baby comes, because when he comes, I'm not going to be able to study as much because he's going to be, you know, the sleeping schedule. I'm going to be more tired because we're not going to be getting as much sleep. And it's like, girl, you have done this before. I have had children before, and I made everything that I needed to do at those points work. So this is no different. But yeah, I don't know. I just have these goals and this vision for like what I want to do. And here lately, I've just been trying to wrangle my head around getting through those things, if that makes sense. But anyway, this is turning into a very rambly vlog, but what's new? Y'all been here. Y'all know I like to talk. So I'm getting ready to, I was going to say because I had my grandfather, he was from the South, and I got that from him. I don't know if I feel like that's just a Southern thing. I'm getting ready to. My kids get on me. My daughter's like, why do you say fin to? Why do you say finna and all that stuff? I'm like, I don't know. I grew up around my Southern grandfather and my daddy, and you know, that's how they talked, and I picked it up. So I'm getting ready to plan this next YouTube video and figure out, one, what it should be, and yeah, take it from there. So that was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be, and I'm super excited about that because I'm just tired. But I am going to do my desk setup next, I believe. I was waiting for a couple more things, but one of the things, I don't think I even wanted my desk setup anymore. The other one is going to be possibly putting up some new shelves on my wall and like figuring out that situation. The problem is, you guys have seen my hedge wall that I use on all my videos and all my short form, all that stuff. The hedge wall is, it's not really thick, but there's this grid kind of thing behind it to where you can technically like maybe get in there and hook things onto it to hang on the wall, which we've done before when my setup was upstairs. That's how my mom got my shelves up the first time. But this time with the shelves that we want to put up, we are struggling to figure out how to actually get them up there. So either I'm going to have to have my mom come over and help me, or we're going to have to figure just out a new way to do it, because I really would love to put the shelves up and then create a different, or like more storage, because on my desk currently, like I really need a bigger desk because I always have to move my keyboard out the way to write. There's really no place to put these journals that I just got. And I want them to be in a place where I can easily get to them, easily see them. And right now, the way that they are sitting on my desk, they're just taking up space. So yeah, I think all that being said, I'm going to do a desk setup, desk area tour, and tell you guys what all is on my desk and where I got it from, because I've had so many people, like there's been an influx, especially like on my short form, where people are asking me like, do I have a desk setup video anywhere, and like asking about specific items on my desk, and I just haven't gone through and done that yet. So I was going to wait till I got it all perfect and got every little thing that I wanted. You know, I need a new chair and everything, but instead of doing that, I figured I could just do how it is now, and that'll answer the questions for the things that people are asking about now. And then I can always do another one once I update the space or switch things out, different things like that. So I think that's going to do it for this vlog. I feel really good about the progress that I've made so far on the studying, or like the progress that I made today on my studies and getting through some work for the minimal Jess. Those are really kind of what consume my days these days, is studying and content. And so I am getting through it and doing the best that I can. This kind of turned into a more like Dear Diary type of video than I originally planned for it to be, but I did want to just, express some things and let you guys know where I was. So got our homework done, got some videos and content planned, and I am going to probably just do a little bit more reading. And I have been trying to do more code wars. That is part of the homework that was presented to us in class 19. And doing code wars, like at least 2 a day for one, will give you the practice with the JavaScript. And I've been really enjoying doing them, and they have really like just made me feel good, because I'm like, okay, I am actually understanding what I'm learning. Even if it takes me a while to figure it out, there have been times where I've gone and done a challenge and I have started to do it and I'm like, oh my gosh, like in my head I'm like, okay, I know how to do this, and I start to work through it in my head, I guess kind of like mentally doing pseudocode, and I'm like second guessing myself. So I'll like figure it out though, and then I end up being right. So that's always a great feeling. I'm super excited about that. That shows me kind of like my progress by doing these challenges. There have been a couple that I have not figured out yet, and those are the ones that I'm probably going to spend a little bit of time on now. So that's a tip if you are not taking the boot camp and you wouldn't know this. If you're learning, do code word challenges. Make sure you are having it set to the proper level that is right for your actual knowledge that you have, because for one, it's there to help you learn. For two, like, what's the point in trying to do something super advanced if you're not there yet? Just go with where you are so that you can actually get through it, see your progress, get through the solutions. And the cool thing is that, you can push these solutions to GitHub. Like, you don't really have to push them to GitHub, but you like do the challenges and submit the solutions through the actual platform itself. But what I've been doing is just I made a whole like Code Wars directory, put it on GitHub, and I made like little separate files, and I am making a new folder every time that I do a Code Wars challenge and pushing it to GitHub. So not only is my GitHub active and has pushes to it, but I can kind of go back and look through it and be like, this is where I started with code challenges, and this is where I am whenever I decide to look back on it. So it's cool. I highly suggest doing this as extra practice, especially for this JavaScript learning, because I'm in that phase too where it's like I'm learning this stuff and I'm understanding it for the most part. Arrays are tripping me up a little bit, I'm not going to lie, but I'm understanding it, and I am now in that mental state of like, okay, I know all this stuff that I'm learning and I'm, getting through it, but how does this apply in real world projects? Even though I was able to apply the things that I learned in that JavaScript project that I posted on this channel, it still is kind of like some of this stuff is just like, there's so many different things and so many different, pieces to the puzzle of JavaScript. How does it all work together is where I'm at mentally, but it'll all obviously make sense. It'll all come together in due time. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then just kind of hang out until it's time to get the girls from school. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see more of too, because I've kind of just been posting videos as they come to me, just documenting my study journey, documenting my progress, and also just trying to come in with my sit down videos that I like to do sometimes every once in a while when I feel like there's something I want to share, or something that I found valuable that I would like to share with others. But if there's something specific that you would like to start seeing on my channel, there's some content that I've brain dumped into, some of my journal areas of, things that I would like to start doing on this channel. I'm just trying to figure out how to do them and how to implement them. But again, if there's things that you would like to see, let me know so I can work on trying to get them to you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And I pray that you have an amazing day, amazing week, amazing month and year, rest of the year, wherever you are. And I will see you in the next one.